Hello guys, and welcome to another Elliott Waves on Cryptos. It's a pleasure to be back again. It took a week, but we're here nevertheless. It's interesting that today we're attacked by bots on the QIC Telegram group, and the vote is just on me in this week's analysis. So as always, you know, I'm gonna go for BTC, and I'm gonna also have a quick look on XRP because I haven't looked at it for a while, and I know that a lot of people are probably interested in what's really happening with XRP. It's been a lot of calls for an impulse to the upside, but is this the case? Let's have a quick look. Now, before we go ahead, don't forget that none of this is investment advice. It's just considered to be educational to help you, to guide you through these tough markets. Don't forget that you can contact me on Telegram. My details are on the About section, only there, my real details. For further information on my Telegram private group, whether you want to be receiving like daily updates or if you want to access my bot. Without further ado, guys, let's go have a quick look on BTC and then XRP. Now, last time I did promise that I will make everything look a little bit more organized, right? So I played around a bit on TradingView and I found a solution. I'm going to show you the main scenario, guys. I know we have already talked about this being one to, I mean, not like this. It would be a case where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And we're looking at the end of running flat over here. And you might also ask why, since we have the running flat, now you change your mind. Well, I'm not changing my mind regarding the actual pattern. I'm just changing my mind regarding the end of this pattern, wave C, expecting for a potential ending diagonal instead of an impulse to the downside. And you might ask why. I know me and ending diagonals are not doing very well, to be fair. If you know my videos, you know that. But the reality is this, guys, and because this would look a bit ugly, you know, but we don't mind. It's just an open diagonal. Open diagonals are just in no way pretty. And you might ask, why am I doing this? Well, it's because down here we have an impulse supposedly moved to the upside. That doesn't mean to seem impulsive. I've seen a lot of analysts having wave 1 here, but if you go and look at the structure internally, it's an APC. Okay, so for me, until proven otherwise, that would mean continue really up to the extension of 1618 at least. Okay, this is what would tell me, like 48k. This is what will tell me that, like before obviously going below 3930, right? This is what will tell me that this is an impulse move to the upside. Okay, this is when I will consider changing this count, but until then I see more downside in wave 5, okay, of the running flat. Okay, so instead of a ending diagonal with the C wave impulse, we'll have an ending diagonal with C wave diagonal. Okay, so we expect an A, B, C all the way down to close to the previous low, and from there shoots all the way up. Now there is a different scenario, still looking at the same pattern, but in this case it would be an expanded flat, right? The expanded flat variation, what would pretty much what changes we would have in the main scenario, it would be that we'll have 1, 2, and 1, 2 instead, and then we're gonna go all the way down for wave 3, then we'll get 4 and then 5. Obviously that scenario looks at 20 and even perhaps even lower than 20, right? That is the expanding diagonal with an extended, I would say, wave 3. Okay, so we are now internally in wave 3. We also have the variation of course, the running flat having finished and now we're moving up. It's what I was talking about, that I'm not too friendly on this, and I will explain why. Because guys, over here you can see that we have a structure that really looks like an ABC rather than anything else. Okay, so the only possibility for me for this to be with the current corrective structure to the upside in mind, the only possibility for me would be that this is like something like, well, obviously one is the impulse. So we're going to get 4 and then move higher. And as I said before, I would be expecting to see the, the 161 at least to break 47.70. That would be, but then you have also, we don't even have a long wave 3 here, if you see my point, I will expect this to break at least to consider this as anything else. But also, we're also looking for wave 2 to be here. That would be 1, 2, and 3 up here, right? It would be something like this, 3, and we'll be getting the 4. That would be a scenario that I'll be more keen in exploring. Why? Because it also allows us for an ABC here. That would be, of course, as you can see, a leading diagonal in wave 1. Okay, now if that happened, guys, that will have a very bullish implications. Okay, but as you can understand, we're far from understanding whether this is happening. We need to get back below the 39K, maybe even close to, I would say, the 38, 37 territory, and stay above 35.50. Okay, my wave 2 would move here because we cannot have a running flat, right, in a leading diagonal. So this would be the alternative here, right? So the impulse, as you can understand in this scenario, is not as possible, at least for now. Now, another thing that we need to also say here, right? If we do indeed have wave 1 here, that can equally be A, right? If that can be A and that can be 2, then equally have a B here, right? Which means what? Which means we're bringing more scenarios on the table. And the truth is that right now, guys, it's not a time that we cannot have many scenarios in mind, right? So one would be to have a W, X, and Y, and my wave Y is going to be a triangle, okay? The other one is have, again, a W, X, and Y, but in this particular case, I will be here and here. My wave Y is going to be a flat, and that can be a regular flat, or an expanded flat, or a running flat. So I'm just leaving that here for now, depending on how deep we can go the way up to 69 territory. And the other case, as you well know, the very bearish one is that we finished wave 5 up here, right? So we'd have 3, 4, and 5 up here, and then this is like the first wave in. We'll get 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, that can be a case where this is A only. We'll get B and C, or it could be a case that we've already finished because we had a W, X, and Y, as I have on my initial scenario. So you can understand there is a lot of things that we're going to find out over the next few weeks. I think, guys, probably February and March are going to be very important months for the medium and long-term trajectory of Bitcoin. Okay, I'm gonna take you quickly in the short term over here. I wanna show you what I'm expecting. Okay, and as I said before, I'm looking at this clearly as an ABC because it's quite clear to me that it's an ABC. That looks like A, B, and C. Some analysts have A and B. Ridiculous, sorry to say, count. The reason we cannot have an expanded variation here is that we go above the 162. We are aware that we can get a regular B up to 162 very, 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 very rarely. Okay, but when we go over 162 and I see wave B here, this is extremely unlikely. And I don't even know the reason that is there. To call this 1 and 2, forcing, bending the rules. So yeah, at least it's preferable to do that one as 1 because it would be very likely to be a 5 because you have an ending diagonal in here. Most likely to be a 5 wave up here rather than, bending the rules just to make it fit the structure that you have in mind. Anyway, so this is what I'm looking, guys. In this particular case, we'll be looking for more downside, right? That means that also looks like an something like 1 2 1 2, and then we'll get 3 4 and 5, and then, you know, continues lower down. If we look at the scenario where this is potentially a 1, a 2, and a 3, the 3 would be here, and this would be an A, B, and a C. So in that particular scenario, wave 3 would be here, and we'll be doing something like 1 2 3, probably 4 and 5, maybe an anti-diagonal here or something, right? And from there would be the fourth wave, and we'll continue all the way up. So this channel that I have drawn already is quite important to determine where we're heading next. Okay, and that's all on BTC, guys. Okay, and I hope that was helpful. Now on XRP. On XRP last time, guys, we were looking at these to be something like 1 2. Oh, sorry, hold on there. We were looking at something like 1 2 3 4 and 5, and you might again say, dude, since we finished the patterns that we were looking in both cases, also on BTC, why do you keep dragging it down? Well, first of all, as I said before, it's just how this looks in here. Okay, I'll be honest though, on this particular structure we can have a flat, clearly. Okay, and I will show you how. Which means we can have a 1 and 2 3 4 and 5 and continue all the way up, or we can have an ABC and then move lower down, right? So you might say, why? Well, the truth is that we are facing a very big risk off event. Okay, over the next few days, I would even say there is a closed door meeting from the Fed. If they decide to hike rates, which I don't think is going to be the case, that is going to go down with BTC and XRP and all the rest of the market, right? So we cannot be looking at these, you know, obviously, you know that I'm very technically orientated. I prefer to just talk the charts rather than weigh anything else. But we need to think here at the whole market, right? And it will be affected by how the Fed decides to move along. So when we're looking at a count for BTC that is down, we cannot look at a count for XRP that is up. Okay, so that's why this is the main, but I will show you also other scenarios. So we're looking at this to finish here and then move higher. And there is very good arguments here because you've got, look at this. Oh, excuse me. 127, you can get that. Look at this, leading diagonal. And you've got 1, ABC, ABC, and then you've got what, ABC, 1, 2, well, that's the problem here. That cannot be a 5. But it would be something like this. Hold on, let's just do it. Let's just show the alternative quickly here in the short term. It would be something like this, yes. And I think we would have even finished up here, to be honest. Deep. So my 2 would be, that would be B and that would be C. So 0, A. Yeah. So you got ABC, ABC, and we'll have probably something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For let's see if we can make it though first. Hold on. 62, 70. No, the 70 will have to make it, which means it would be here. So if that would be here, then that would be here, and we would have something like W, X, and Y. Which does look a bit weird, doesn't it? To be fair here. So A, B, and C, it would be 1, 2, 3 again. It just doesn't make much sense, guys. You see. So here it cannot be the case. Here it cannot be the case. We're missing one wave. So again, it would make sense over here, right? But where is the flat? How are you going to explain this? Where is the, there is the 1, this is the 2. Let's say this is a 3. Where is 4 and 5? 4 on a flat, on an ending diagonal, cannot go above 2. Simple as that. So we cannot have that being the case. And obviously, you know, what we could have is we would have something like this. W, you say X and Y with a flat and a combination or something. But then if we look at the correction, the wave C is just barely 62%. So wave C is truncated, has to do at least 70%. So it should be down at 58, and it's not. Down here we are at 58, as you can see for yourself. Look, down here we are at 58. That would be a potential wave C. But then you got to ask yourself, where is the ending diagonal? We've got 1, 2, where is 3? Where is 4? And where is 5? You see? So this is the only thing that troubles me. And that's why I had the main, and also because of the rest of the reasons, of course, as W, X, and Y. Because W, X, and Y, you know, we just gotta look at this as an ABC indeed, but it will be W, it will be something like X, and it will be something like Y, okay? And we'll come back to the original pretty much. So you would have something like A, B, and C here. I still don't like that C though, so I would prefer to still come down here. WX and all the way up for Y. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way up to 5. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It would be up here actually. And my 4 would be up here. So we go down. Okay, and this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's 3, then 4 and 5. So I just explaining these so that you understand the narrative, the idea behind, the thinking behind the decisions I take, okay? And that would be 1 and 2 over here. That would be 3, 4, and 5, right? So we tried, indeed, it can be an impulse, right? It's just that doesn't make much sense. It cannot be a flat, okay? And then you might ask, what if that was like a W, X, and Y with a truncation in the Y? Okay, they are possible as well as extreme situations, okay? So that's the main. Oh, okay, hold on. Now we can hide it. And now let's have a quick look on the alternative. By the way, I'm not sure I showed you, but further out, this is what I expect. We're in wave 4 and we'll move up in wave 5, right? And we're now moving lower in wave 2 of wave 5, okay? We've done the primary 1, primary 2, so a lot of upside when we stop. And if that continues lower down, I'm looking at the bounce at the channel around the 40 cents or something, 40, 45, okay? Let's see. Alternative, boom. Way more downside. Still in wave 4. Instead of having finished 4 and we'll go up in 5. For example, in the previous case, we had 4 and we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In this case, we haven't finished 4 yet. So we'll have W, X, and Y in wave 4. And then we're going to move higher up. And that to me, obviously the structure is pretty much the same here. We're looking for A, B, and C instead. It can also be a case that this is 1, 2, we get 3, 4, and 5. Then we get 1, 2, 3 for B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C, right? So don't look at this as an A, B, C and say, okay, you know, this is what you've got and fine. You're expecting a minor of 3, then 4, and 5 for C to end. It could also be a case, I repeat, this is 1, 2. We get 3, then 4, and then 5 for A. So my A would be down here. Then we will get B, and then we will get C. Also possible, okay? For now, though, because of we have the fact that we have a leading diagonal, it means that we're probably going to have an extended 3. So we're okay to be in wave C because the third is expected to be long to the downside. Now, if we look at the Fibo extension, wave C can come down to around 16, right? It would be 161 of, I mean, usually, you know, you see that A and C do the are equal. So we're looking at 37, but assuming that and looking at this as a leading diagonal, that means that we're going to get an extended wave third in minor degree. So that will give us, that will allow us to go down to 19 cents only in this particular minor degree. And then we'll get the 4 and then we'll get the 5. So you see, it looks like the 16 cents might be coming in this particular case, which is very bullish, very bearish. Okay, very bearish. So that is also the alternative, guys. Okay, I will just leave that in here for you to look at it next time. And then back to the main, you might ask, are there chances that we ended down here? Well, as many chances as there are that BTC also ended and it's moving up. Okay, just to keep that in mind. So things are a bit mixed right now. So guys, that's gonna be all. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments, contact me. My information is in the YouTube section, okay, nowhere else. I will never text you first. Text me if you want access to the Telegram group or to my bot. Take care.